Yeah, there's a few things I want to mention. First off, you're kind of talking about designing your life in a way that, your important tasks are on the list and you'll get them done. There's no question about when or why or how. It's
Hmm.
getting done in this period of time. And now you've segmented other parts of your life, other parts of your day for, whether that be personal, leisure, you know, anything else. And that's kind of the beauty of, in my opinion, time management, where it's like so many people say like, "Oh, I just don't have the time. I'm too busy." And I'm just always like, you have 16 hours in your day that you are awake. That's if you get the recommended amount of sleep. Some people don't even sleep that much, so they might even have more time in the day. And I'm always like, okay, even if you have a full-time job and you worked 8 hours, even if you do have to commute, you still have a good 6 hours of time in which you can plan your day and get a lot done. You can get a lot done in 6 hours. And it's like, that's kind of the mindset that I really enjoy, where it's like, if you just take a minute to break down what your day is going to be consisted of, and you write down and plan out like, okay, in this 45-minute segment I'm doing this, non-negotiable, no room for indecision. And it leaves you that ability for freedom. It's like it's a kind of a paradox where it's like, when you're more rigid about your schedule, you are gifted more free time and more, you know an enjoyable life in some sense. So I find that to be amazing, and kind of ties in with this idea of like the 4 hour work week. Like, if you plan your deep work in a specific time and get it as much done in that period of time, and then take a stop, like, you're going to be more rested and rejuvenated, and your deep work is going to be incredibly focused and productive. And I just find that to be really, really awesome. And it's kind of similar to what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, I like that.
And
I think a few things came in mind when you were talking about that. It's like sort of the mindset you got to approach this with. And so you talked about a few things, but first is the concept of like time, right? It's almost like you got to switch it from a lazy mindset to like a solution oriented mindset, meaning um, despite any challenges that come up, right? Let's say like you don't have time, right? Let's say you are really busy, like you're balancing three jobs, like you have children, you have everything. 100% those are valid excuses, right? Like you might literally not have time, but I don't think that's the issue anymore. I think it's almost the mindset. So I'm not going to be ignorant and say like, oh, you can always make time. You can, but to an extent. And I can go about that like after this, but
true.
it's really about the mindset switch. It's like, okay, like I have this problem. This is what's going on in my life. I'm extremely busy. I have really tight deadlines. It's really hard to fit anything. Okay, good. It's about like playing that good game, right? Like, good. What can I do to actually create time? What can I do to be more productive? What can I do to maybe outsource some of my things, right? And start thinking about creative ways to find those solutions rather than staying stuck and being like, okay, I have so many things, like reasons why. You can always think of reasons why you can't. There's a million reasons, right? You can always make excuses for why you can't do anything, but that's the that's like the basis, right? If you can't switch that mindset yet, then nothing's going to change, right? So you have to start seeing it in a different light. Reframe that perspective into, okay, good. Like, good. I'm extremely busy. Good. I only got like 4 hours of sleep. Like, I'm able to like optimize it so I'm able to get everything done in a certain amount of time and maybe get 8 hours of sleep the day tomorrow. And so it's really about taking that mindset first. And then the second thing that I wanted to kind of bring up there was the concept of time and basically like procrastination. And so there's two distinctions that we have to make is like fake procrastination versus real procrastination. Fake is like when you have the time and you're actually not, or sorry, fake procrastination is when you don't have the time and you're prioritizing, right? Let's say like you have a family, like you're a mother of two, let's say, and you have a business, you have a career, like you're balancing a lot of things, right? And you're gonna have to prioritize. Some things you literally cannot fit into your day, and even if you do, it's not very effective. And I totally understand that, right? And so then you're gonna have to start prioritizing things and maybe again looking at it with a good mindset, like the good game. Like find ways to find a solution And it might not happen immediately. Maybe it might not happen in the first weeks or months. It might take a few years, right? Let's say you want to achieve financial freedom in like a business, right? It might take a few years of you maybe grinding just 1 hour a day. That's all you can make time for. But it's about playing like that good game, right? Switching that mentality from there. And then the real procrastination is, when you have the time, like you said, when they have like 6 hours
Mm.
of time, but they choose not to do it. And so, um, another thing that just came into mind, sorry, I'm kind of going off,
Oh,
is
keep going.
I
This
see
is
this bring
great.
up a lot. I see this come up a lot for me. I feel like um, a lot of my prospective like students have the same question. It's if you have if you have that 6 hours and I'm like dead tired. Let's say I woke up like 6 a.m. Like got ready for work, commuted, like takes 2 hours, did an 8 hour shift, commuted back. I do have like 4 or 5 hours, right? But when am I going to catch a break, right? That's like a common problem, and I totally understand that. Again, it's not something that I can like really give you tailored advice on because I don't really know your situation. But you got to go with that mindset again. Like, okay, I am busy. I only have 6 hours of my time. I only have maybe 4 hours a day, but I have to make dinner. I have to take care of the cats. Maybe I have to do a lot of things. Okay, then let's find solutions for that. Let's find ways that we can maybe automate those or make it easier, right? Maybe batch your work a little bit better, or maybe um, like have like set areas for your cats. Like I don't know like what the
Hmm.
situation is, but you're able to create solutions. It might be smaller, but you're able to find ways to do that. Um, and yeah, it's really dependent on everyone's schedule, but try to find ways. You can slip in ways um, to get work done, right? That might be on the 2 hour commute. If it's a 2 hour commute, maybe reconsider, right? Maybe that is the problem. And I'm not saying like quit your job, but find solutions. Okay, like if this is taking 4 hours of my time away commuting to work, is that really the best use of my time? Maybe I could get some work done in the commute. Maybe I could read a book and take some notes into things that I can implement in my business. Right? Like find solutions there. There's always there's always a way to find it to make it work basically. But if you go with a perspective that I see a lot of people come to me with, they're like, Daniel, like I get what you're saying on your Instagram, I get it all, but it's like my life is different. I have everything going on, and it's like, yeah, you're right. Like, but it's like, you know, like you might be busy. You might have like a different lifestyle. Like you might not be able to wake up at 5:30 like me and get in like an hour and a half of deep work. Like your schedule might not align with that. Hey, totally cool. Find ways to work with your time, work with your timeline and your schedule. Right? It's like you got to reframe that mindset before you come to me and say, I have all these things that's come up. You got to look deeper with it. There's always a way. So.